Welcome everybody to another deal analysis live stream. Super excited to chat with you all. I am back. I know it's been 10 days since our last live stream, which is totally crazy, especially since we usually go live twice a week, although we did have that double live. But I'll tell you, Ohio was eye-opening, friends. Not only was Ohio eye-opening, but San Francisco was really exciting with our crash course. The next one I have, just in case you don't know, and you could get a bundle coupon if you want to email me, is come to the in-person one in Vegas, 2/20/2020, but that's it. Nothing else is on the calendar for now, which means I'm going to be local a lot more. But anyway, so we're going to start with deal analysis here. Obviously, if you have questions during the live, go ahead and shoot. I love answering all of your questions in the live. And in case you're watching this on replay, if you want to have your answers answered fast as well, you can always just pop into a deal analysis live stream here. Post the question, leave, come back later to watch it. I know, right, Ronald? All right, so yeah, no, literally zero other plans other than Vegas. That's it. Like after, because that's going to be the day before the 10X Growth Conference. So I think people are going to be in town for that for Grant Cardone. So my event is the day before. I got the cool date to 2020. I run out of 20s. But anyway, that's it. So, okay, question here. If you have 1.5 years left on your house, on your home's lease renting, is it better to start by putting 25% down on a separate deal or wait to be able to house hack after the lease is up? Gosh, first of all, I'm surprised that you have basically 18 months left on a lease. That is a long lease period, but obviously you ended up putting in a, like a 2-year contract. So is what it is. I would say, I would ask your landlord, because they usually all have setups for this. Ask your landlord what the penalty is for breaking your lease. Usually they'll tell you something like, oh, you just have to pay the property manager for the re-rental fee, but if you cooperate, we'll make it easy for you. And oftentimes I see people who are in situations like that, what they do is they get pre-approved, they start looking for really good deals, and if a really good deal comes up, they break the lease. If a good deal doesn't come up, one that they don't want to jump on, then they don't break the lease. But I would definitely be hunting in the meantime, because 18 months, honestly, it is quite a long time. Any plan? Okay, we answered that one. So how much would you spend on landscaping work, and what kind of work would you recommend for landscaping or rental? Yeah, so usually what I recommend is you go with like a 40% grass and like 60% mulch, although that varies in all different areas. So if your area uses grass, try to cheat and use more mulch than you use grass. If you don't use grass, then don't use grass. But whatever you can do that's the cheapest is usually best. Like I love mulch, rocks, weed barrier, and you'd be surprised once you start mixing grass, mulch, decomposed granite, and rocks. You don't need to really landscape that much anymore because you've divided up with so many different materials. You start covering your landscaping pretty fast with really inexpensive materials. Obviously, you want everything covered, and that way, if the tenant destroys any part of it, you can have good before and after pictures, so that way you can get some money back from the security deposit. But big thing for me is, I don't like to spend too much. If I spend, if I could spend $2,500 on a bit of mulch, give me some plants, get the sprinklers working, that makes me happy. If I'm 3-4 grand in the back, more than that, I don't want to spend. I'm not doing retaining walls. I'm not doing expensive, crazy things. And even that, some people might already think is screwed when buying land. Oh, that's an easy one. Don't buy land. A land, as we have it in our lectures, but land is an alligator, right? It's not, you can't rent it out for half off. You're really just, you're speculating on land appreciation unless you're going to, do something with the land or you rent it out to a farmer. Will depreciation hurt rental property owner with no cash flow and no other passive income? No, I mean, depreciation is just another way for you to minimize the taxes that you pay. So there's no harm there. But if you have, because remember, you're getting rental income, and depreciation is going to help you prevent paying taxes on that rental income. So flow doesn't really matter. You're still getting paid a check by a tenant, and you still have to pay income tax on that. So depreciation is going to help that. So we'll do math on that, and you'll see the difference. Because remember, you don't get to write off principal pay down on your mortgage, right? House came up on the same block that I bought a house 20 days ago. My offer was rejected last Friday. This new house, but last Friday on this new house, but the cash buyer backed out, so reconsidering. I mean, that's awesome. Do you have yours in deal analysis? I mean, I've got some deal analysis escrows that I'm going to be catching up on mostly today. But if you write an offer on that thing, post it under deal analysis. Let's check that thing out. Remember, you get top priority if you post under deal analysis escrows. And that obviously you have to have actually a deal in escrow or written an offer on a deal. So I'm 18, I live in Phoenix and have some money and income. I'm in between buying a home and having coworkers, friends move in, pay me rent, and house I keep just renting. Where I live or own. Yeah, I mean, 100% I would be buying at 18 years old, because I look at this, I go, think about this. You're in Arizona, you're in Phoenix. It's relatively cheap for you to buy a 4-bedroom house, right? You go buy a 4-bedroom house, 3.5% down. Even if you have to co-sign with your parents, put them on as 1% owners or whatever. Guess what happens now? Now you get to collect rental income from the people you'd probably be rooming with anyway, except now you own the property. You could find a good deal if you want, get a below market wedge deal. You could start building your wealth rather than sitting around and giving that wealth away. There's the whole saying, rent where you live, is founded. I just got to be more blunt about it. Rent where you live is a lie, because the person who popularized it owns where they live. That should tell you enough right there. All right, I'm graduating college. I'm awesome. Looking to move to Madison. Okay, planning on buying a house to house hack. Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I would buy a house everywhere I moved. If I was going to be living there for more than a year. I love the idea of hopping around and controlling more wealth. Currently applying to jobs there and hope to use that to help me qualify for a loan. Since I don't know my job or my income yet, I haven't approached lenders. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what line of work are you in? If you're let's say a computer programmer and you have computer programming experience and you're going to get a computer programming job, you can ballpark and say, I think I'm probably going to be getting paid this. I would get the process started. All right, can you qualify for an FHA loan putting down more than 20% to avoid PMI? Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you would want to do FHA, honestly, if you were putting more than 20% down. I don't think people usually do that. I don't know. Hold on, let me move this mic a tiny little bit. I honestly don't. I have never run into that situation. It's because I know FHA has mortgage insurance for the life of the loan, but I also don't. Really, I think the best question is why? Why are you doing that? I wouldn't do that. I would never recommend an FHA if you're putting that much money down. I mean, even if you're putting down like 10%, honestly, it's like you should be going conventional, really, once you're putting more money down, because FHA is a little bit pricey. Let's see what else we got. Currently applying. Okay, we got that. Okay. So I have no worries yet. If you haven't finished the course, that's all right. But what's your advice on buying a property through a company? Yeah, that is sort of somewhat through the end of the lecture, end of the course. I usually don't recommend it because, you've got these 10 golden tickets for you to buy real estate with conventional financing in your name. Once you use those 10 golden tickets, then go buy stuff as a company or an LLC and use those crappy commercial loans. But I don't understand why you would want a commercial loan before you need a commercial loan. So let's see. Yeah, Joel, yours is going to be next. I'm going to start with yours here in just a second. So let's see here. Okay, is it worth? Okay, hold on. Is it worth keeping a house in a good area that has zero equity, VA 0% down, annual loss of $2,200 after principal, interest, taxes, insurance, maintenance? Okay, principal pay down $4,300 a year. So did you already factor in the principal pay down? So it's an annual loss after PI and timber, but it's actually it's increasing your net worth by about $2,000 per year with principal pay down. Okay. So, or refinance and just put 20% down before renting it out. So does it worth keeping a house in a good area, zero equity? I mean, if it's a good house in a good area, especially if it's a newer house where I know I'm not going to have to do a lot of work to it for a while, I mean, I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't pay, I know you're a realtor, so you could save your own commission, but you're still going to be paying like 6% total in prep fees and escrow title, the other realtor. I wouldn't sell. I'd get a property manager. I would rent that thing out. Every single month, you're paying that thing down. And think about it. After a year, raise the rent $25 or $50. After a year, raise the rent $50 again. And then all of a sudden, that negative 200 is going to be gone within the next 3.5 to 4 years. And then you don't have a negative cash flowing property anymore. And then you start turning it into a cash flowing property. I would definitely not get rid of that property for the numbers that you just described. If you can afford it, I would be keeping that property. It's just not worth the selling cost. It's actually something that I really like about real estate is real estate is really punishing to sell. So I mean, I don't know why you would refinance and put 20% before renting it out. I mean, if you have the money, okay, to refinance and put 20% down, so you have a cash flow, maybe. But I mean, if you have 20%, me personally, if you could qualify, I'd rather go find another wedge deal. I'd rather put that money to use. Because realistically, if you put 20% down, what are you saving? Like 4%? And it's like a tax affected 4%. So 4% minus probably at least 25% of taxes, you're really saving 3% interest. And you're paying all those selling costs. So it's like you're moving 20 or at least refinance costs if you keep it. To me, I'm like, no, go hunting for another wedge deal. By the way, I haven't looked to see, I still need to get caught up on the Discord now that I'm back. But I know what you were talking in renovations about that property with that broken humidifier or whatever. I mean, I'd be running to get a bid on that humidifier because that deal looked like a good deal, that REO. And if that hasn't sold yet, I don't know. You might want to keep looking at that. All right, let's see here. You talk about super cheap homes. Oh, I love this. Hold on. So now we have levels of cheap homes. We have, there we go. And now we have levels of cheap homes. We have super cheap homes, and then we have cheap homes. So, okay, look, to me, anything under $100,000 is not very desirable because I can't get conventional forms of financing. I have to use cash. I have to use hard money. I have to use private money. It's a lot less desirable to me. I have to work with partners. It's a headache. It's a lot more complicated. It's harder. I'm not saying you can't make money doing it. If you want that to be your full-time job, fine. But, to me, I'd much rather be playing in the game of buying wedge deals for $125,000, $150,000 that are worth $250,000 afterwards. That'd be much more desirable to me. I'd be able to build wealth a lot faster with the same amount of work. The problem with cheap houses is, I made this argument. Apparently, I made it poorly, but I made this argument that I would rather have one house for $500,000 than 10 houses for $50,000. Because with 10 houses, I have to deal with 10 freaking tenants. I have to deal with 10 furnaces. I have to deal with 10 roofs. I'd rather just have one, and I know sometimes people go, oh, but then if that property goes vacant, it's 100% vacant. The $500,000 houses have way less turnover and vacancy anyway. And in the course, we teach you, how to quickly re-rent properties anyway. And if I'm only dealing with one property, it's a lot easier for me to take time out of my day and go rent one property than it is to rent 10 properties or deal with 10 properties. So that's, there is a level where housing does get so cheap that, to me, the reason there's this higher rate of return is because you're basically doing a job. It switches from investing to a job, and I don't need another job. So yeah. Well, hey, you know what? On that deal that you pulled out on, no worries. That's fine. It's got to feel right for you. If that place doesn't resell within the next, couple weeks, I would consider take $100, give it to a humidifier guy, and go out there and just walk it again. Walk it with the humidifier guy and ask them, hey, does this happen? Is this common? What is it going to cost to fix? Hey, do you know other people who could put this back together? In your professional experience, how much is it going to cost to fix all this damage? How much is this potential, for mold going to cost me or whatever? And you might be surprised how much information you get out of them, especially if you're up against less competition by doing that. Something to keep in mind. All right, so no room to get a $100K wedge if the house isn't worth more than 200. Yeah, no, yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, look, if you're going to do even though what I just gave it as an example, if you're going to buy a place for $125,000, you put 50 grand in. Yeah, you might only be looking at a 75K wedge or something like that. And sometimes, if you're looking at $50,000 houses, people put $20,000 in, and maybe they're worth 100 or 120. You got a $50,000 wedge. Yeah, the numbers scale, right? It's a lot easier to get a big fat wedge on more expensive properties. So here we go. How do you get a renter in a current house before close of escrow on the new house if the new loan is contingent on a lease agreement? Robert, you have to watch the specific lectures that I have on that. You'll find that under financing, exactly how to do that. It would take me a while to describe it here. So watch those, but I have those set up perfectly for you. Joel, I'm going to do your deal in just a second, I promise. Okay, so I think in the UK, if you buy property through a company, you can reinvest the income into new properties and pay less tax to build a portfolio quicker. I also live in Jersey, where the corporation tax is 0. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about this corporation tax. I mean, because you could run these properties through an S corp in the United States, but in the UK, I mean, I can't imagine that. I mean, what you're saying is in the UK, you can qualify the rental income if it's part of a company, but not if you own it personally. I don't know if I believe that. I'm skeptical. I'm not saying you're wrong, but income is income. You know what I mean? If I own it personally and it's generating income, the lenders are going to look at that. What material to use on stairs instead of carpet? Honestly, I love carpet on stairs, but otherwise I will use my luxury vinyl plank. Carpet on stairs helps me reduce liability, slip and falls, and it's also really cheap to do. So, okay, let's see here. Yeah. So really, let that place sit on the market for a while and see if you can get that place for like 150, right? All right. So, yeah, no worries, Robert. I get it. Can you write off interest paid? Why? Okay, hold on. I'm in a situation similar to the money you borrowed from your. Okay, let's see. Yes. So, yeah, and remember, I don't. Honestly, I do not like. People saw that title and they're like, "Oh my God, Kevin, you borrowed money from your dad." I borrowed money from him to help him finance his retirement, because he spends. Like if he had $70,000 sitting in his bank account, maybe a little bit more. When he sees that every day, he's just like, "What motorcycle do I want to buy?" Like, no, just lend it to me. Here, have some passive income. And now I have it. Honestly, I have his money. I'm paying him 7%. And his money is sitting in Wealthfront right now, earning me 1.8%. So I'm losing money on this deal. That's just because I'm sitting around waiting for my wedge deal. All right. So, but anyway. Okay, situation similar. Do you need to set up an escrow account to pay every month? Why? Would you be able to amortize the amount for a certain period? So, I'm confused. I mean, like, I wrote an okay. Look, I gave my dad an agreement that says if you give me $70,000, I will pay you 7% interest. There's no escrow account. There's literally nothing. He wrote me a check for $70,000. I write him a check for like, I don't know, $408 or whatever it is, something like $400 every month. I just set it up on autopay and it goes over to him. There's no escrow. There's none of that. If you want to do an escrow, you can, but it's going to cost you like $2 or $3 grand to set that stuff up, to do title insurance and all that kind of stuff. So, is there a hack to rekeying a property between tenants the easy way? Don't. I mean, I hate to say it, but like usually there's a spot in the contract that says, has the property been rekeyed, yes or no? And you basically, by doing that, you let the tenant know, hey, it hasn't been rekeyed. So if you're worried about it, change them yourself. So good questions. All right. To the pic. Okay, no, can't wait to see your reaction to the pictures they took. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So we're on to your deal now. So twin home as an investment property. Okay, I don't know what a twin home is, but I'm sure I'll figure it out right now. I'm putting 20% down, and my offer was accepted at $270,000. Okay, awesome. Good for you. All right. The appraisal also came back at 270. That's normal. They're almost always going to match what your offer is. I would like to put, or I would put more down, like 25%, but I'm already stretching. Okay, no problem. Loan officer offered to have me use a preferred lender credit of $4,200 to buy down the rate. Otherwise, I'm looking at 5.25. And the $4,200 will go towards closing costs. Okay. How with $4,200 would you be going from a 5.2 to a 4.0? That honestly seems like a really good deal. You should watch. I mean, like, put your number into the net present value spreadsheets, and I would do some math on those. Honestly, that seems, I don't know. That's interesting. All right, but anyway, seller said they would fix these things. Double tap an electrical panel, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, some of these things are easy, but gutters, paint, water pressure, slow leak. Okay, good. Why do you think it's a good deal? 6 blocks away from my primary residence. Very good. Love it. Close to shopping, new home builders popping, easy commutes. Okay, good. Potential rent value, $600 per month. All right, so let's look at the actual deal. There is I hate, honestly, phone calls. I'm responding to Lisa here. But if you go to the Teachable website, if you log out, you're more likely to see it. I don't know what it is. Like if you're logged in, you don't see all the other courses that are available. I'm going to screen share here anyway for the deal. But if you go over here, you will see that there is a little one-on-one phone call thing with Kevin now, and you could use THX24 for 24% off on that. Like like I know it seems pricey, but like it's just because I don't want to be on the phone. So, but I'm happy to do it if you want to do it. Okay, anyway, so okay, so Springville, Utah. So let's take a look at this deal and explore this together. So let's see, split the screen here. There we go. We got the chat up. We'll put the house right there. Perfect. All right, so this is it's your deal, contingent, Springville, Utah. When was this built? Because it looks pretty brand spanking new, which is nice. 96 days on the market, built in 2007. Awesome. Smaller lot size, which honestly it's fine. It's less crap you have to take care of with tenants, so I don't mind that at all. So you buy the 4. Okay, all right. Let's see here. So I had a feeling it was close to Orem. I should have said that, but it's past Provo. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean this is awesome. I love this area. All right, let's see. What do you got? Okay. Oh my gosh, the pictures are terrible. What is this? I'm like this first. Hold on, I gotta like restart my reaction. Like my I gotta like cleanse the palette here. That was so bad and confusing the first one. So like this one's not terrible. And I think by twin home you mean it's like an attached wall, right? In which case, just make sure you're using the same deal comps. Okay, so golly, it's like I feel like I'm looking more into the light fixture and the piano than anything else on this. Gosh, these are terrible. Missing transition strip. And this is an example right here of like that 99-cent linoleum or what's it called? Laminate, which I'm not the biggest fan of. You know, a little bit dated on the laminate and the tiling. You know, not the greatest. The kitchen's okay. It would pop probably a lot better. Jeez, these are horrible. Kitchen would probably pop better with some stainless appliances, but you know you got to ask yourself if it's worth it. Something I would consider doing though is I'd probably put on hardware onto these cabinets, mostly because these cabinets I don't believe they've been stained. These look like these are the original cabinets, and they are going to get a lot more wear and tear if you do not keep this up. They're going to get a lot more wear and tear on them if you have tenants constantly using the wood rather than like a knob. So that's going to be something for you to keep in mind. I personally would probably throw those on really quick. So I know you're getting this thing for $270. Okay, pictures here. Carpet looks okay. Missing closet doors, not that big of a deal. Gosh, I feel like they put on like a wide angle lens adapter on here and they do not know how to keep a camera straight, which is just sad because it's dizzying. There's a lot of stuff on here. Okay. All right. So I always wonder when they have this, like, why are the doors closing? When the doors start falling closed, sometimes there's a sign of you're having settlement issues. So keep an eye on that when you see these sort of door stoppers. Watch for that. I don't know that your area is known for settlement though. It seems like you guys are flat lots. This should be pretty simple here. But overall, I mean, I like the location, like the property. I got no qualms here. Let's see which comp you used, and we'll also see if we can do a quick little grab of some surrounding areas here. So, oh yeah, and I don't know if I fully answered your question there, Woody, but yeah, I write off the interest paid, and they have to report the interest as income. So, all right, let's pull some comps here. So you're 16, 17 square feet. So I really want sold comps in the neighborhood. Oh, this is good. Yeah, like this should make my life really easy because if I could literally just do that and get the comps, that's what I'm gonna want right here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so look at this. So, you know, I already I feel like you're not overpaying, which is good because look at this comp right here. $264,000, similar location within the neighborhood, 100 square feet smaller, so you know it's really like a 275 comp. Let's just look at the condition though. Let's see what we got here. Oh, but that's a little bit nicer though. Darn. Yeah, see, they got the nicer floor. Look at those baseboards. They got like the 6-inch base going on here. And I don't know if that cabinet's built in, but that floor is nice. Look though, same cabinets, same kitchen basically. It's like the same thing. Yeah, this is probably honestly a model home, which this is what I would call like your wedge over improved deal, where they spent so much money on this kind of crap that they're not going to get money back on. But this is nice. Molding in the bedrooms, the nicer tile in the bathrooms. Darn. I mean, that's a decent yard, although it looks like you have that view of kind of like the farm or whatever it is, which I like your location better in that sense. So, okay, well, I mean, at least we know you're not overpaying, so that's good. Okay, here's another one, 263, same thing, 253, 250. Well, oh, okay, but this is last year. Yeah, I mean, so this is fine. The nice thing for you is this, it might not be like a massive wedge or whatever, but it might make sense for your situation. It's newer build, so I mean, like, I don't think you could go wrong with newer construction like this. So I kind of like the house. I love newer construction. In fact, what I would much rather do, rather than put my money into like an index fund, I would rather literally go and buy a new construction house with 25% down, and then that way at least I have that 4-to-1 leverage on new construction. And rent that out, because then I know, guess what? I've got the newer earthquake standards, which doesn't really matter in all areas, but I've got all these newer systems and features and builder warranties that I don't have to deal with. Houses next to a school, I'm not the biggest fan about that. So, okay, hold on. Hi, Kevin. I think Dave Ramsey is misleading. In his video, he said to sell a house when it gains value. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things I could say about our buddy here. I'm just going to pass for right now, but I think that's stupid. Let's just put it that way. I'll just say that. I've recently purchased my first property, now living in it. What should my next step goal be as a real estate investor? Yeah, that's a great question. So, once you get your first deal and you live in it, and like you've been in it for 6 months, and you've set up your auto pay for your mortgage, and like, all right, you've lived and breathed real estate. Really, now you want to ask yourself, okay, cool. What's next? And usually what's next is turning the place you're living in into a rental. And the best way to do that is you want to start looking around and going, well, what would motivate me to move into another wedge deal? So, for example, if you're in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath right now and you start looking around for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you find a good deal, let's move, and you turn the first one into a rental. Or if you don't want to move, then start hunting for your first rental property. But usually moving is a great way to get into another deal. Honestly, like I don't really want to move because it'd be a lot of stress right now. But if I found a deal right now to move into, I would do it. I would move. So pretty much everything is stock when the builder built it. Okay, double. Okay, so deal on escrow is going to be double. Okay, so hold on. Where are you? Yeah, sorry, I've been doing a lot of question answering. What's your Discord name? Because I've got TJ next. Let me do TJ right now. Let's do TJ. I want to help y'all out, TJ. All right, so let's do TJ's deal and keep going here. Responding 28 min into live. Is that what we're in? Yeah, let's just do it. There we go. Okay, beats. Oh, you literally just posted it. All right, well, let me see what I can do for you. All right, no problem. Let's get going here with TJ. So we're under contract for 222.5. Any suggestions? Highly appreciated. This is our first investment. So it's condo or townhouse, walking distance to town, supermarkets next to bus stop, good school district, move-in ready, newer windows. What are the comps? Okay, we'll see here. Okay, projected rent. All right, let's see what we got. So it's a condo. Let's go look at the deal. Where wish I had. Okay, Zach. Okay, let me just do a quick search on yours, Zach. What's your username? Is it SoCal Dad? No. Tell me what your username is, and I'll do a quick search for you in between. All right, TJ. Let's look at TJ's deal really quick. So we'll split the screen here. TJ's deal, and let's see here. So because Zach, I can do a quick search and I can find your question. That won't be a problem. Just give me your Discord name. All right. Let's see. So 1074 Farmington Ave. This is a Connecticut deal. It's a condo. Good that to know it's a condo, because like, first things first, I see this busy street right here, and I started getting a little bit nervous right away. But you're going to get this with condo developments. You're going to be just like this. There you go. I mean, the picture's worth 1,000 words. Cool. So let's see what else we have here. The actual deal itself, I mean, this is nice. This is pretty move-in ready. There's like nothing for you to do. Zach, I don't know if you can hear me. Zach, what's your Discord name? Okay, so let's see here. Looking at this deal. I mean, I see like this. I like the chair rail. I like the wall paint. I like the kitchen. This is pretty. I mean, there's like nothing for you to do in this deal, which is good. I mean, maybe a little bit in the basement, honestly, but there's very little that I see here. So I like that. Let's see what comps you have. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and I'll pull comps as well. Yeah, Roth, really, the fastest way for me to get to your deal is if you write an offer on it or you're in escrow. And then that's why I go through deal analysis escrows. That's where I can guarantee you a response on your deal as fast as possible. So let's see here. This deal, I'm going to try to pull comps on this. Let's get rid of this tab here. Let's grab comps on this particular deal as well as what you have. Your deal here is, let's see, yours was built in 47, and I'd like to know the size of yours. Okay, I think it's 1116 square feet, but let's try to pull it a little differently. Let's go to realtor.com here. Okay, yeah, 1116 square feet. It's pending. It's a 2-in-1. Good. And these are the comps you brought me, which are 1116 and 1116. Good. You brought me 2 model match comps, one from March and one from May. This is good. These are actually really good comps. Now, your address is on the busier street. These did grab the address of the side street. So it's going to be hard for me to tell the location within the complex. You know what, if you're on the side of the building or the back of the building or the front of the building, that is going to make a little bit of a difference. But let's see here. Okay, this comp sold for 225, same model, which is good. This one sold for 195. That's a little bit of a disparity here, honestly. Why did this one for 195 looks a lot more like your deal in terms of condition? Okay, and then this one for 225, we don't have any pictures, but it's this fabulous new kitchen and high stainless steel appliances. Okay, all right. So I think yours is probably what. Now yours is okay. Well, what did you get yours into escrow for? So you got yours into contract for 222. So what I really want you to do, TJ, is I want you to get pictures of this one, this May sale for 225. If the only thing they did was the kitchen, that could be good because yours is kind of nice, but this one hurts you. You know, this 195 sale, this is a lower comp. You know, this one, it does still have the dated bathroom and some of the elements are still dated, but still, you know, that's a little bit of a sign that, you know, you might want to be a little bit more aggressive in your inspections because this comp hurts a little bit. So I would see if you can get those pictures on this 225 or, you know, I don't think there's like a massive overpayment happening here because yours is pretty move-in ready as well. You don't really have to do anything on your deal, which I like. But also compare those locations. Those locations are going to be vastly important. So hopefully that helps you, TJ, on yours. So yeah, okay. So you said it's on the major road. So yeah, if those other two, by the way, here's the thing: if that other sale for 225, if it's really nice and it's not on the busy road like yours, you know, that could be the difference of like 20 or 30 grand in value. So just something to keep in mind on. All right. So, okay, Zach. Okay, let me see your name looking up. All right. Let's go ahead and see if I can respond to Zach's question really quick. So I'll pull him up. Thank you for the number. Yeah, let's see here. I think I can find Zach's number. No, I guess I can't. I thought I could. That's a bummer. Okay, let's just try just Zach. So just trying to answer Zach's question here on 2471. How come I don't have a username 20? I don't think that's his username. I'm going to guess it's this one. Nope. All right. Well, I'm actually having trouble finding your question, but you did post a date. So you posted under picks in the question. The Zach, I have a question on our Discord under finance. Let me find it really quick. I do want to answer all your guys' questions. This is really the best way to get me, honestly. I'd rather go live a little longer and help you guys get your questions answered. So let's answer this. 10. I know I've been a little sporadic with answers. I know, okay, I was responding to questions here. Okay, here you go. All right, so Zach, okay. I've got some numbers for a 15-year and a 30-year refinance on a duplex. Okay, let's look at these together. So you're thinking about doing a refinance on a duplex. That's good. All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and share the screen and we can look at it together really quick. Yeah, let's do this. It's gonna be a little easier. All right, so we got the numbers here. This is the 30-year. Let's go ahead and download this. Open the original. Let's go ahead and download the other one. And let's see what you're looking at here. So these numbers here, I got some numbers for 30-year, 50-year. The 30-year saves me about 105 per month, but bumps the loan amount to 76. Right, to increase my payment about $50. Okay. All right. You're using a promo. Okay. The reason for the payoff would be to avoid the fees. The market is kind of hot right now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So your current rate is 6.625. That's what I was looking at. All right. So got it. So let's go ahead and take a look at your two sheets here. First things first, you have to ask yourself this. Every time you are looking at doing a refinance, whether you're looking at a 15-year loan or a 30-year loan, you have to ask yourself, what are your goals? Are you in a position of expanding or payoff mode? Those are two places to be in life. Everybody gets to that place at different points. So if you're in that point in life where you're expanding, you're trying to build your net worth, you're trying to control more real estate, you should pretty much always be looking at the 30-year fixed rate loan. The reason for that is it's steady Eddie. It's a basic deal. You're not worried about the market crashing and then all of a sudden your loan getting called because you're doing some kind of variable ARM loan that has a balloon payment after 7 years or whatever. Instead, you got yourself a simple, basic 30-year. As long as you're making the payments, you're good. Now, the payment on this deal in total, let's see, your total monthly payment on this is $660. And if you jump on over to the 15-year, you get a lower interest rate, but your payment's going to jump up to $822. The cool thing about this case, though, is you're only talking about a $170 per month monthly difference. So this is where you have to ask yourself, on the flip side, how much is $170 really going to make a difference? And this is where you say, all right, well, if I want to be in acquiring mode, I want to keep expanding my empire, I want to control more real estate, $170 is going to affect your ability to qualify by somewhere around $400 per month. That is a debt of $170 per month is going to take you $400 of income to continue to qualify for the same amount. So if income isn't a problem, maybe go for the 15-year on this, no matter which case you are, the expanding, trying to build your portfolio, or payoff mode, because honestly, it's just not that big of a difference in payment. And now you're locking in the lower rate and you get this thing done, you get this thing paid off at some point. If that $400 a month of qualifying ability is going to make a big difference to you, I would only go for the 30-year. And that is in line with what I generally recommend people do. Only go for the 30-year when you're in the expanding mode. Only go for the 15 when you're in that contraction, trying to get more cash flow mode. As far as fees, okay, so you're paying, 1.5 to get the discounted rate. On the 15-year, you're paying over here about the same amount of points to discount your rate over here. This is such a small loan, though, that the points don't really matter so much. Your funding reserves and all that. Yeah. So to me, it's a personal question. I don't think you're wrong to lower your interest rate from 6.6%. I think you're making the right decision there. Get out of that 6.6. But as far as the 15 and 30, ask yourself, how much is that $400 going to affect you? Even if you don't think you can go shopping for deals today, ask yourself, well, where am I going to be in a year from now? Am I going to be able to go shopping for deals in a year from now? And because I have $400 more in monthly obligations, basically, that I have to qualify for, it's really only $170, but we know that's worth $400 in qualifying power. How much is that going to rob you from being able to qualify for other deals? So inspection, okay, TJ replied and says inspections are done. Things are in good shape. Great. I'm just going to text reply here. I'm not sure if you're still here in the live, but great. Just grab pictures of that 225 comp and let's compare. Also see if it's off that busy street. Okay, that to me is just so important because the last thing you want to do is be buying a property on a busy street and you're using comps that are not on a busy street. I mean, I know the whole building is on the busy street, but there's a difference within too. All right, let's do another one here. And then we'll do some Q&A in just a second too. So we did not get the deal on Warm Lens, which is why I took it down. But this one got accepted today. All right, Bobby got a deal accepted. Bobby 3, congrats. Analyzing now. All right, so we'll screen share here in just a second. So Bobby says it's a single family. My quick comps came in higher with a small 20 to 30K wedge. Only needs a paint and some flooring, slightly over improved for the area. That actually can be good since you're buying the over improvement at a discount. Easy to rent, awesome. Other homes in the area, perfect. Low HOA, great. All right, perfect. Let's look at your deal. So this is okay, California. All right, what do we got? So this is a $589,000 deal. What'd you pay for it? I know you said you got your offer accepted, but you didn't tell me what you got it for. Oh well. That's useful, by the way, but whatever. Okay, so reduced. So it's been on the market for a little bit. They've reduced the price. It's been on the market for almost 2 months. Let's look at our pictures here. So we've got a little bit, yeah, it just needs a little bit of paint. You can kind of see just some wear and tear here on the wall. Let's see, hit the baseboards, hit the trim. The tiling's a little on the dated side, not that big of a deal. Same thing with the kitchen countertop. Be nice to have a little bit of more contrast in that kitchen. You know, whether you had stainless appliances or whatever. I don't know that I would necessarily get rid of the white tile, especially if it's going to be a rental, and if the tile's in good shape. You know, if the tile's cracked and broken, you know, maybe then you want to deal with it, replacing the countertop. But otherwise, some stainless appliances and get rid of that nasty kind of microwave there. I mean, I'm not saying it's nasty, but like it's the faded yellow look there. Put some new bulbs in up here. I think that's going to help a lot. In this particular kitchen here. So let's see what you got in terms of cost. I think what you're talking about in terms of over improvement, by the way, is the backyard. Nice patio cover here. Nice work on the hardscaping. You know, stuff like this I wouldn't do for a rental, but hey, you know, it'll keep a tenant longer. This vanity's nice. The shower looks good. I like it. I like it. This is pretty easy. Oh, and look at this. This is even better. New HVAC and AC added 3 years ago. Awesome. New water heater 1 year ago. This is great. This is great. Yet price below the last Model 4 matches. Awesome. All right, so then you have to start asking yourself, why is it selling for below? You know, what's going on in the market in this particular neighborhood? But let's see what's going on with the comps, how recent those were. Okay, so yours isn't like in a yeah buddy location. You know, we're not next to some crazy busy street or something crazy going on there. Let's pop on over to our comps. So let's grab them. We've got the comps that you gave, and those are old comps. I'm not too jazzed on old comps, but I'm probably going to open these anyway, just because I want to see what's in your mind. Yeah, but I like how you labeled these. Good job. Really good job, honestly, setting this up. So, and then let me just look at our deal one more time here. Okay, so remember, these are the things we want to remember. You have a 4-bedroom, basically 2.5 bath. It's 1,863 square feet. 1,863 square feet. Here's a model match selling for $619 last summer. Yeah, I mean, last summer, things are still a little down from last summer. So that makes sense. That does make sense. Where are you? I'm just trying to figure out, get an idea. Okay. Oh, you're down there. Yeah, but I have seen that you know, in Orange County things are down a little bit since last year. So that's okay. Not much, not something that would make me nervous. If anything, it makes me feel insulated. So this is good. And let's look at the pictures of this one. This one's in like worse shape with a green carpet. Yeah, I mean the kitchen's a little bit nicer on this one, but this funky patio room nobody cares about. This one's in worse shape, but that was the height of the market. The middle of 2008, that May time, that's right before the market turned. This is better. This is better. This is a sale in November. This was like the pit of the market, and it sold for $615. That's really good. Okay, here's a recent one, $617. Wow, man, why? Like, why are all these? Okay, this one seems to have a nice amount of upgrades, $617. Why are all these places selling for more? Like, if I were those sellers, I'd be like, yo, agent, what's happening here? But really, I mean, this seems like a slam dunk. Yeah, I mean, like you said, not a massive wedge, but yeah, these 2017 comps, I'm not going to worry about. These are like 16 comps too. Yeah, no, we don't want these. Uh, yeah, so really, I don't know. I mean, if you got that thing for like 580 or whatever, I think you got yourself a great deal, especially with all these structural upgrades this property has. The HVAC, you got it for 585. I mean, that's great, especially again with all these upgrades it has, and put a little bit of love into the kitchen, call it a day. I like that. I mean, to me, I honestly have no idea why that place. I mean, like, is it a mess when you do a walkthrough on it? Like, is the paint really bad? Is the carpet really bad? Like, why are people getting turned off on this deal when they're going to look at it? Because it doesn't make sense. Okay, so good. You're getting it basically for 582, and for some reason the comps are all 610 to 620, and there's like no work you have to do here. So I like this deal. I really do. So good job. All right, let's do another one and then I'll do Q&A. Single family offer made for 135 full price. As of right now, nothing popped up. Okay, in terms of being a yeah, but good deal based on the amount of work it has done to it in the past few months. It is selling for 10 to 20K lower, I'm assuming, than others. I know the schools and neighborhood very well. Good, 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 good. It's 2 minutes away from the police department. It has had within a year a new water heater, HVAC, foundation repair, paint job. That's awesome. I like the sound of this so far. $135,000. It sounds like you're not going to have to really do anything. Okay. Let's see what you got. Comps and comps. All right. So here's your deal. It's pending. Really dark intro shot here, which is kind of bad for them. It's 960 square feet, a little bit on the smaller side. These are the original cabinets that they painted. Dark colors, though, honestly. A lot of dark colors. It's going to hurt in terms of rentability. You might consider trying to get some brighter lights in here. Like, it's not worth changing things. The dark vanity. The mirror is a little on the custom side. Like, I get with the vanity, but the mirror is a little on the custom side. Everything very dark, just so you know. That can sometimes affect sale and rentability, but it's easy to solve that by adding lighting. Add lighting, get rid of that mirror, and you're fine. Otherwise it's pretty much ready to go. Totally renovated. Perfect. Perfect. Good. Built in 66, 9,500 square foot lot. Good. So, okay. You're paying list price of 135. But here's a comp for $96,000 and this is from a while ago. This was coming up on 2 years ago. This is rental grade. Here's a definition of a rental property landlord right here. They get it. Look at this. Carpet, linoleum, contrasting wall, stainless package, hardware on the cabinets, basic counter. Like, this is the definition of rental grade here. It's move-in ready. You don't have to do anything. Like, I'm pretty sure I've used that ceiling fan before. This is good. This is clearly a rental. And it's larger, 1,250 square feet. That 250 square feet, that's a lot. Especially, I mean, we're over 20% now, but it also, given the fact that in the smaller square footages, every extra square foot is useful. And then here's one that sold for 131. So I don't like either of these comps, honestly. Let me try to zoom in and try to grab some. So you're buying on 703 Northeast. No, that's one of the comps. Okay, here. 611 Northeast Darwin. And let's see if we can find some comps. 611. Here's Northeast Darwin. So let's grab some similar sales here. And I really want small. I mean, under 1,250 ideally. Let's see what these things are going for. Why are these things going for so... Is this a townhouse or a house? 2-bedroom duplex. I'm sure it's a duplex, as in it's like two single houses being sold separately. Okay, well, that's different. That doesn't apply. Here's a 190,000. This one's remodeled. Really nicely remodeled, although I've seen that kitchen at Lowe's. So here's a nice remodel for 190,000. This is actually a really good comp. But again, it's got that 200 square feet on you, and I think the lot's only a little bit larger, so that's good. I'm a little upset by that $90,000 comp, really. Let me get some more recent comps. The most recent comp, that looks like another duplex. That's something else. You don't have a lot of recent comps. See, these smaller deals are selling for $96,000 to $100,000. Although here's one for 176, but that's a newer build. Here, there we go. There we go. That's a good comp. What is this? It's a year-old comp, year and a half old, and it's a 3-bedroom, but again, it's at sub-1,000. Similar kind of condition. Honestly, this one's not bad at all. This one's pretty dang move-in ready, and this one's selling for 125. I don't know about it's still selling for less or more. Yeah, I'm just confused by what you're saying here. I'm a little worried on the comps for this one because I do think for the square footage at 960, it might be a little high, especially with a comp like this. 125 though, that's not bad. 125. I mean, it's close. 125. This is similar square footage, year and a half ago. Pretty much buying in. I mean, this is honestly your best comp right here, kind of like we expected. 125, best comp, year and a half ago. You know, it's not going to be a big fat wedge here. This one really upsets me. This $96,000 sale, but is what it is. So it's an older sale as well, and yeah. That's probably my opinion on it. You know, I don't think you're massively overpaying. This one's let's look at this one really quick. Yeah, see, this one's built in 93, so it's a lot newer. So be careful looking at something like this to compare value to because it's got that newness factor to it. But 183, I mean, that's a good comp to have knowledge of as well, especially since it's not that much bigger than yours. Barely bigger than yours. So, okay, cool. Let's go ahead and pop over and do some more questions, and then we'll do some more deals here. Let's see what we got. All right. So, other questions here. Okay, not sure if you're here, but I posted a deal escrow last week. I'm in escrow right now. So let's see if you think. Okay. So let's see. I think you're coming up. Droid boys. I answered. Let's just say really quick. Droid boys analyzed around what are we reading, like 40 min in to 45 min ish. Okay, so SME, I think you are close. I'm a couple deals away from, actually, you might almost be next. Droid boys, this is a hard one. So JD actually looked at yours too and said this is a hard one to comp. Every sale is old. Yeah, cautious about recent. Yeah, I couldn't agree with JD more. I mean, honestly, JD on point analysis of Droid boys. So, all right, then we've got Aaron here. I'm a newer member of your research. Okay, 10 years. If this property was a decent value. Okay. Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Let me reply really quick and just say, did you write an offer on this or get it in escrow? If not, would you mind posting in the regular deal analysis? Definitely get to it. All right. So let's do some more Q&A now. And then SME, I think you're next. Yeah, you are. That's an interesting. What's the square footage? Okay. Well, okay. All right. So it's probably trying to figure out if it'll work as a student housing only 6+. Okay. All right, SME. So let's go ahead and look at yours. And I'm going to answer some questions as well, and then we'll look at yours here. And I'm going to look this property up on Redfin. It's pending. So I mean, Aaron either got this deal or he didn't. Aaron, I see it's pending. So I'm assuming you either got it or someone else did. All right, Q&A. So velocity banking is garbage. You end up paying more interest. It's a psychological trick to try to get you to pay down things faster, but it's stupid. So purchased my first property. Okay, we answered that. Is there a reason you use more lighter colored luxury vinyl plank? Yeah. So light is very important because it makes a place feel larger. So that way when you're going to sell or rent it, people feel like they're getting more bang for their buck. And they're more likely to rent or buy from you. I have a cabin in the mountains, somewhat close to hiking, rafting, and popular fishing areas. It's a nice place to get away. With the location, I'm torn between Airbnb and renting it. Max, yeah, honestly on that, a location in the mountains, Oftentimes you're going to have Airbnb managers in sort of these vacation destinations. And I would do the math on that to see, do you want to be the one dealing with it or have an Airbnb manager deal with it? I personally, with my workload, I'm not interested in dealing with an Airbnb full time, especially if I'd have to drive to the mountains, which I'm assuming could be like 2 hours away. I wouldn't be very jazzed about running over to it all the time. I'd love to have somebody else deal with it. Would you allow pets in a house with engineered hardwood? Deposit wouldn't be enough to cover damage if any happens. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to take an extra deposit for pets, which I usually do. I might, but I'd probably take pet rent as well, like a bumped up pet rent. So, any tips for 1099 contractors trying to get approved for a loan? Yeah, Zell, check out the section that I actually have under financing. It's one of the lectures for use this trick if you are an independent contractor or like self-employed. And that's a good one. That's going to help you if you're not already using that. So, what are my thoughts on investing in an S&P 500 index fund to save faster for a deposit? Is it too risky at this stage of the market? No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Honestly, I have when I have money sitting around and I'm ready to buy a deal, I either have it in an index fund or just in the Wealthfront savings. I hate the Wealthfront savings account though. I usually just use that as like a pit stop because I just end up putting my money into like an index, or my favorite stocks, or my deal comes up, which usually a deal comes up pretty fast. So, okay, all right. What's the price difference should one consider you? Okay, what price difference should one consider when the backyard backs up to a busy street? It depends how big the backyard is. Sometimes people have like an acre large backyard. If you have a regular sized backyard and you back up to a busy street and you sit in the backyard and you hear it like crazy, yeah, I mean, me personally, I'd probably be looking at that as like a 15% adjustment at least sometimes, but it depends. Would love to buy down the rate to around 4%. And just be careful you're not spending so much money buying down the rate. But that's going to cost me around 5K, which I mean, I wouldn't have quite enough. Yeah. I don't know on that buy down, looking at that loan. Why don't you just do 10% down, take the mortgage insurance, don't pay all those points, and then build equity over time. Once you get to the place, once you have it for 2 years and you have the equity, either pay down a little bit more or let the property appreciate, and then guess what? Then apply to get rid of mortgage insurance. Then you've got the lower rate. You're not paying all this money for points, and you get rid of your mortgage insurance problem. That's probably what I would do for that scenario. I wouldn't be so eager to try to put every last dime I've got into this loan just to try to get that payment down. Honestly, you got to ask yourself too. I mean, look, I know you want to refinance, and I know you'd be saving like 1% going from this, 1.6% going from the 6.6 to 5%. But if that means you have to pay down 5K in points or 4K in points even, well, actually it was less. It was like $1,900 or whatever. But you are paying all these refinance fees. You got to sort of also evaluate, like, is it worth the savings, right? It's a small loan. Like 1.6% doesn't make that big of a difference on smaller loans. So, all right. Next deal here is SME. All right. Got an offer accepted yesterday. Would love to know. All right. Let's take a look. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Sorry. 1 second. Send that. All right. So share your thoughts on whether, okay, let's see. Single family listed, but it's 5 units all under one roof. So, okay. So that could sometimes be janky, honestly. If it's a 5-unit building and it's being sold as a single family and it's just a single family, you got to be really careful because it's just setting yourself up for a lawsuit sometimes on these. So be careful. Main bad thing about the deal is it's one of the most expensive houses on the block. That's the thing that happens. People take a single family that they've illegally converted into units, and I'm just speculating right now, and then all of a sudden they try to sell it for a premium because, oh, look at all the cash flow it makes or whatever. And, you end up getting kind of screwed because on one hand you're overpaying and on the other hand, now you're overpaying for an illegal property. I don't know if that's what's happening here, but let's look at it. Main bad thing. Okay. It's one of the most expensive on the block. It's kind of a turnkey property since there's not much to fix. It's listed for $470 by the seller. You got it under contract for $450. It's a tremendous cash flowing deal. Yeah, that's the way they get you. Be careful. They lure you in with cash flow because everybody loves that cash flow. I did the math and can be a 13% cash on cash with 9% cap rate, pay by period. Okay. So I currently have a contingent on appraisal, inspection, financing. Counting on appraisal coming lower. Yep. Seller was not willing to accept anything under 450. House is currently rented, brings in 3,500 in all 4 units. Owner lived in the main unit. This seems so funky. What do you mean it's 5 units? All right, let's screen share this. Let's find out what we got going on. All right, so located minutes from the Miami International Airport. Yeah, no kidding, it is. I was just in Miami. Okay, I got a corner over here. And what is this here? What is this building? This is like an apartment building right here. Okay. So is this a neighborhood of units or is this I've seen people do this and I just honestly I hate these kind of deals. Especially since it's listed as a 6-bedroom. It's like it wasn't built as a 6-bedroom. So it's got some funky floor plans. It's gonna be like compound. So let's see what we got. So we got sort of your basic single families here. Wow, lots of units right here. Here's your basic single family again. Basic single family. Here's the compound. So you can kind of see the original curb appeal here, or curb rather. And this flat roof was, I'm sure, added on. This used to be the garage, is my guess, right here. And they converted the garage into one of the units. So make sure they got permits on this. Like, it's one thing if this is a permitted renovation. Oh my gosh. Oh, look, I hate to say this, but anybody looking at the screen right now should just realize, like, that's janky, okay? Like, here's your original house. That's like 1,200 square feet, okay? And then here's converted garage, add-on, 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 like, oh my gosh, this is scary. If it's permanent, it's one thing, but realize the amount of maintenance you're going to have with this flat roof is going to be a lot. And I know people do it. People add on. That's fine. They added on. They added on. They did a patio cover. They did a patio cover. I can't tell what that is. They did an add-on. Like, that's what's done. But again, they didn't. You're in a hurricane area. And wow, these are like mirror images over here. Is this all one? No, you're not. No, you're just getting this deal. Okay, well, I'm interested to see the rest of the pictures here. All right, so it's 1,712 square feet. So here we go. Okay, it's got a pool. It's got like the community pool then. So I wonder how they got other kitchens in here if it's that many units. Okay, I see bedrooms. That's good. Here's a squeezed in kind of kitchen. Whoa! What is going on here? Look at the vent hood. The vent hood is on the wall and there's no stove there. Oh, it's because there's like a little induction cook plate here. And that's a red flag right there that this thing is illegal, honestly. Okay, that's not good. And then look at this kitchen. No stove at all. Another red flag that this is illegal. And look at it. Look at the cabinets block the air conditioner. It's going to end up freezing out the air conditioner. Not good either. Sorry to sound negative here. I'm getting really nervous about this deal. Part of me thinks this is like the community laundry and it's outside for the whole building. Wow. I see where they're squeezing in these kitchens. See, this used to be like a little closet probably, and they literally got a sink in there. Wow. And that's the only way they're selling you is they're selling you, an illegal property that they've kind of moteled together under the allure of cash flow. But you got to realize you're now dealing with 4 tenants. They're all going to hate each other probably because they're all going to hear everything the other person is doing, and you're dealing with more maintenance. I'm not trying to say don't buy this deal, but in so many words, I'm saying I would never buy this deal. I would check the permits on this and to see what's permitted first, because here's the like. I'm gonna try to roll with this for a second here. Let's say I did want to buy the deal for some reason. I was willing to deal with the tenants because I was getting paid the cash flow. Here's what I would not be willing to deal with. If this property does not have this add-on permitted, there's no way I would ever touch it. We know the units aren't permitted. It's one thing if the units aren't permitted, the conversions, the rooms with the little fake kitchenettes or whatever. It's another thing if the whole building is illegal. Then it's a real health and safety issue, and you're inheriting this as an as-is sale. That sounds horrible. So pull the permits on this. There's no way to comp this other than by looking at this as a single family dwelling. So basically what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the comps as a single family dwelling and try to figure out how much this place would be worth if you converted it back to a single family. And the odds are you're overpaying by a ton. And yes, you are, because here you go. Oops, there we go. Look at this. Here's a property that's only 100 square feet smaller than yours that just sold for $340,000. It hasn't been chopped up. It's full. They got a lot of stuff. Doesn't look like it's been chalked up. I mean, maybe they're renting another room out, a couple of rooms out or whatever, but it looked, it's operating as a single family. I only see one kitchen. I only see the 2 bathrooms. This seems like a normal kind of Miami deal, and they got $340 for it. Here's another one. They got $360, well, just recently, like 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh. This thing's 3,200 square feet. Are you kidding me? 3,200 square feet. So here, they did a ton of adding on as well, like a ton. 3,200 square feet. That's crazy. Just sold for $360,000. You're almost paying $100,000 more than this house right here. And it's showing us 3,600 square feet. I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah, you can see with the flat roof here, just the amount of, like, they've pretty much reconfigured the entire property. But that could be, hey, if they got the permits for it, that's great. But still, like, I would rather you buy than this 3,600 square footer and chop it up yourself if it's legal square footage, and not have to deal with possible city issues. But whatever you do, stick to legal square footage. This neighborhood here is all flat roofs. Okay, that's fine. That's more normal because your other one had the difference. This one's all flat roof. But 3,200 square feet, I mean, that's nice, and it just sold 2 weeks ago for $90,000 less. I can't do it. I don't know. I can't endorse that one. I'm sorry. So I'm going to move on. So, okay. Update. Fairhaven deal. I'm getting just appraised for. Nice. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Best JD on it. Yeah. On paper, it's a wonderful cash flow and undervalued in that respect. Exactly. And that's the problem is, you can't value a deal like that as a multifamily deal. It's not meant to be valued like that. It'll never work that way. So I would be nervous about that. All right, let's see if we can do these next 2 here. A contract signed yesterday. Inspection will be done today. Single family, no yeah buts. AC replaced in 15. Awesome. Warranty in contract for 215. We'll try to negotiate later. Okay, cool. So this is pending in Lakeland, 3 and 2, 1,474 square feet. Comps here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so yours is pending. You got it for 220. You got it for 215, and this comp that's pending at 215 needed some work, you say. And then we've got these sales at 216 and 245. Well, that's good. 245. What's this 245? And the 245 one looks pretty decently move-in ready. Yeah, I mean, this one's pretty move-in ready. Looking at your deal, honestly, your deal looks pretty dang move-in ready as well, which is good. Yeah, basic sort of laminate flooring there. Okay. Location, pretty normal. I mean, everything about your deal seems pretty normal. You're getting it for 215. If you get it down to even 212 or whatever, and you got sort of the comp that needs work at 215, 210, you've got these deals that sold for 216 to 245, decent move-in ready as well. It seems like a decent purchase. I like that it's newer. That's probably the biggest thing that I like about it. I mean, I know it's not brand new, but yeah, okay, let's okay. So, okay, that's good. Go to the city. To the city to confirm. So it says, according to the agents, it's legal. It's permitted from my understanding, 5 separate doors. If it's legal, that's much better. That's much better, but still overpaying. Okay, so let me clarify what I'm saying there. So the person with that converted Florida deal replied and said, "Hey, according to the people involved, the professionals involved, it's a legal property. It's legally been converted, and if it's legally converted to units, legally, or at least legally added square footage, maybe that's great. Like that's the bare minimum entry point for the deal. But realize you're still putting in an extra 100K into the deal to buy it to milk this cash flow. It's kind of like the opposite of doing a wedge, where you're getting something 100K below market value. But hey, you know what? If you want the cash flow, you want to deal with the tenants, maybe that's something to do. Let me know how it pans out. As long as you manage it correctly and you follow the proper credit screening guidelines for tenants, you should be okay. So yours is 1474 square feet. And when was this one built? This one was built in 2000. I mean, that's nice. A 2000 build property. I don't know. I mean, not suggesting a massive, massive wedge there, but you might have a little bit of one. You got a nice lot. You got a clean move-in ready property. You got the upside of that 245 deal that just closed. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't dislike that deal. That's a good one to start with, especially if you're just starting with this one. Yeah, would love to bring over your inspection too if you want. All right, let's do this one's the last deal we're going to analyze. Yeah, totally. Why not with the appraisal? May as well. So what are the comps on this? All right, so let's do this last deal here. Analyzing at end of stream. So this last one that we're looking at is bought a house 4 houses down, November 1st, 2019. One house from the highway, but I'm 5 houses down. Okay, same block as mine right now. So the nice thing is the neighborhood. So where's the deal to the actual, or the link to the actual deal? Thinking about converting the basement into a full room, adding egress. That's usually a good idea. Adding a bedroom in the basement, adding egress, renting it out. It's not a bad idea at all. Get that extra cash flow. That's fine. Seller is done repainting, refinishing floors. Not sure how to best BRR this. Bank is willing to do a 15% rental property loan. Wow, that's awesome. We'll have mortgage insurance until I reach 30%. Okay, well, or you could just refi once you hit 20 or 25%. Offer submitted for 242 with 15% down. Got beat by cash. 6K less than mine. That sucks. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Roof is close to 20 years old. Cracked single pane windows. Okay, so did it come back on the market? Back. So bought a house 4 houses down, same block as mine. Additional loads. My bank. I will have mortgage. Okay, hold on. So I think what you're saying is originally you got beat by a cash offer, and now you have an opportunity on it. Okay. All right, so let's look at the comps you gave me just so I can get an idea of this street here. All of the comps and everything's on Russell. So this is the location. Let's look at the location. I mean, everything you're saying is nice. What I really like about yours is that you're close to it. It's 4 doors down. You know the neighborhood. That's great. What does concern me though is you said you're just one house from the highway. One in here. So here, that's going to give you a little bit of a more noise factor here, especially with the on-ramps right here. Consider that. I mean, I would stand in that backyard at like 6 p.m. and see if it's still enjoyable. That's something I would definitely consider. I don't know which address your unit is, so I can't really advise on comps, but I mean, what you're describing to me sounds good. Send over the actual address for that one, and then we can, look at it a little bit more. I know what's interesting though is, here's the link for the actual house. Oh, okay. So yours, how are you getting into this house for plan is okay. You bought 6421. Oh, you've got both houses in here. Okay, that's why it's a little bit more tricky. So 6421 offer submitted for 242. So 242, and the comps in this area are going for 285. Well, let's see what your square footage is. That's gonna be really important. So this one's yours. 1,600 square feet. Okay, here's the location of it. Yeah, it's that second unit in. So it is that one. I mean, this looks nice. Look at this. And this is ready to rent. Literally ready to go. Convert that basement. I mean, I like it. That's very ready to go. I like that a lot. 1,600 square feet, built in 58. You got a comp here at 308. That's smaller. a lot smaller, but you're going to have a little bit of this highway penalty as well. Let me see where this one is. This is a lot smaller though, and I think, probably argue about similar condition. That one's pretty close to the highway too. That's good. Honestly, how are you getting this thing for $242? That looks like a good deal. Although this is a low comp. $285, and it's 400 square feet more. I mean, this is a pretty much right on comp. It's 400 square feet more. Oh, but it sold at the beginning of 18, and it's completely remodeled. Okay, so that's an older comp. That's fascinating, though, that you got this $300,000 comp, really, and you're able to get this thing in that 242-ish range. That I like. So let me try to zoom into your neighborhood quickly here and see if we can learn a little bit extra about the neighborhood. 309, we got a 311 right here. Look at that. 311 good from last year. What do we got? How are you doing this for 242? What's this low comp? Here's a low comp. That's from 17. That doesn't even matter. Here's a midsummer 275. I mean, everything's well above 242, honestly. And yours is like rental grade move-in ready. Yours is in better shape than this. That's a pretty good deal to me. So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily do a research request thing. I mean, if you have to pay $250, I would do it, but I would go to the city. How do you find permits? You go to the city building and safety department and you ask to see the permit file. Hey, I'd like to view the permits for this property address. Can I see what you have on file? And then they'll tell you, oh yeah, you go on that computer over there and type in the address and it'll pull up for you. Or sure, here's the folder. Or sure, here's the computer monitor. We'll turn it around for you. That's the way to get the permits. So you should be able to do that for free. All caught up with deal analysis, escrows. All right, so we're all caught up with deal analysis, escrows. Went a little bit longer today. We will be back on Thursday to do another stream. So, folks, we will catch up with you. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much for coming back. And folks, we will see you next time. That is Thursday. Thanks again. Have a good week.